If you were no longer affected by the judgment of others and you stopped judging yourself, would you make different choices? Why make choices in your life based on judgments instead of on your awareness of what would create the life and living you desire? Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices Radio Show, Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on A2Zen.fm.
Welcome, everyone. I am so happy to have you with us today, and it is March the 18th, 2015, and whether you're listening live or you're listening in the replay, really hope that you have a lot of fun with us today because I'm excited about tonight's show, and it is Business for Creatives, Weirdos, and Humanoids. And if you don't understand that title, but it sparked you, maybe you're one of them? Let's get into this and see about that. So I would like to tell you a little bit about myself, and then we'll get right into the show. I'm a possibilities coach, and what I do is I work with my clients to co-create the living and loving that they desire with all the possibilities that are available to each of us in the universe. I am Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, also a bars facilitator and a body facilitator. I'm an energy healer, radio show host, and producer. I also like to build websites and work with businesses to help them to grow. It's so much fun for me, and I like to be different. So are you willing to be different? My programs do assist you in bringing more possibilities to actualization. If you would like to look into more of that, I'd love to connect with you. Now, I do charge for my services, but the first 5 minutes are always free. So ask yourself, what are you ready for now? And what mystery would you like to unravel? Please send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca, and let's see what we can create together. So today's show, Business for Creatives, Weirdos, and Humanoids. Are you definitely different? Do you have a million ideas a day and don't know where to begin? Have you concluded that because you don't have just one idea that you must be incredibly confused and actually suck at business? Are you creative, confused, brilliant, and unfocused? What if all of you is just fan-freaking-tastic? I am so happy to have you here. I am so happy to share this information because, trust me, I often talk about and facilitate what I have moved through and beyond, and this was a big one for me. Oh my gosh, I had judged myself like crazy. I'm so happy to be sharing what I've learned with anybody that's willing to listen. I would love to have your questions live. It creates so much more on the show. So if you're calling from the U.S., the number is 815-880-8255, and in Canada, it's 613-800-8736. If you're calling from the UK, it's 033-000-10625. And if you'd like to join us in the chat room, it's a2zen.fm/chat room, one word. And you can click on the, come in there, use any name you want. We've got some peeps in there all ready to play with us. And you can also Skype us. And the Skype button is just to the left of the chat window. And I'd love to talk with you. So let's get into this show and see how much fun we can actually have. So what have you made so valuable about not owning your massive amounts of ideas that has you buying into the how to do business smallness of this reality are you choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion, we design and create it all. Whew, right, wrong, good, bad, pock, pot, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many of us have said to people that we have our own small business? Do you know that we're in judgment of our business and we actually are making it stay small? And all the while, it's like we're talking out of both sides of our mouth. All the while, we want more business, we want more clients, we want to receive more money, and yet we keep calling it small. So everywhere that you've bought the lie that it needs to be small, can we please try and create all of that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. So Carol has a question. I don't know if I'm creative, humanoid, or just weird. How can I tell? Well, Carol, the question that I always ask, what do you know? Yes, Colleen, we're going right out of the gate. I've got so much I want to share tonight. I'm starting from the middle and jumping out. So, okay, so this is how, first of all, access consciousness. You heard the clearing statement, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all nine shorts, boy and beyonds. And what that is that's actually a tool to change the energy of anything that is keeping us stuck. And if you would like to know more about the clearing statement, please go to theclearingstatement.com and you can get some great information there. Just know it's weird, it's wacky, and it works. Okay, so how do you know if you're creative, humanoid, or just weird? Well, first of all, if you have all these ideas and you kind of are looking around at what other people are doing and you go, okay, I don't fit into that box, I don't fit into that box, I don't fit into that box, you're different. You're definitely different. If you've got all these ideas popping all the time, like you look at things like, there's a great book by Daniel Pink called A Whole New Mind. It was one of the best books I read. I actually met this man a couple of times and was very privileged to introduce him at a large conference. And in the book, Daniel talks about looking at things from a different angle. So if you are looking at something and you always feel like your head is kind of sideways tilted and you see it differently than somebody else, you are definitely different. And oftentimes when you look at something and it's different and you see it differently and it's just like it's got a different edge to it, it can be used differently, there's different possibilities with it. When you share that with other people, they will often say, that's weird, I don't see it that way. And so they immediately begin to judge you. And then you go into judging you, because when you judge you, then they're right and you're wrong. I mean, that's what humanoids do. And I will explain the difference between human and humanoids. But if you are sharing an idea and somebody else is saying that's weird, then right away you're a weirdo. According to this reality, you're a weirdo. So would you be willing to POC and POD every point of view that you've ever bought into around what it means to be weird or what it means to be a weirdo? Wow, that one's big. Okay, right, wrong, bad, POC, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Wow. All right, so how many places and spaces have you been judged as being a weirdo? Since day you were born, you were definitely different. Would you please take off somebody else's pants and put on your own weirdo pants? You are definitely different. And guess what? It takes different people to create a different reality. So would you please step the frigamore up and own your amazingness, your brilliance, and your weirdo-ness? Right, and don't forget your weirdo hat. That's awesome. How many of the amazing creators of the past, look in the past 200 years, of the amazing creators out there. Now, I'm not a huge history buff, and I bet you 10 to 1 there's somebody in the chat room is. But if we were to talk about some of the amazing painters and artists and creatives who did things that other people said, what are you doing? How many of those people were judged as being weirdos, and yet today we value them so much. We value their contribution, and we look to them and go, wow, what would it take to be as creative as that person is? It is the creatives that are changing the world, and it is the creatives that are really taking themselves out of their comfort zone and expanding themselves into bigger possibilities. And trust me, being a weirdo, being different, being creative, and being a humanoid and owning it in this reality, not comfortable, peeps. Absolutely not comfortable. But guess what? If you really want to create something different in your bank account, in your business, in your reality, in the people around you, in your relationships, in your body, would you be willing to do it your way, which may be so different that nobody else ever has done it that way? If you would be willing to step one foot into this, you might start to unlock more than you would ever could possibly imagine. It's so much fun. So I want to tell a really quick story if you've never heard kind of my quote-unquote story of where I've come from and what's brought me to here. It feels like it's taken a long time, and now it feels like it's like happened instantaneously. Somebody in the chat room, 914569, says, I'm happily weird. Thank you, thank you. And Colleen says, Sisterhood of the Weirdo Pants and Hats. Colleen, that is awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my God, this is so much fun. I love people in the chat room. It makes such a huge contribution to creating this show. Thank you, thank you. So really, really fast. So I was in human resources for 20 years. I always wanted to be in business, and human resources felt like I was kind of in my own business when I was doing that job, and I was working for other companies. But I kind of had a different capacity to work on my own and to be able to be a little more independent than some of the other people in the organization. So I did that for 20 years, and it really became I was a soldier, like I was like a cop, or I had to do everything their way, and I really didn't have a lot of fun. And I truly, truly did feel lost. So through my own creation, I left HR and I wanted to take life coaching. So I took my life coaching program, and then I knew right away I wanted to start my own business. I just really, really wanted to. And I had no real cognitive understanding of what that was going to require of me. And, you know, I listened to a lot of people out there that told me how I had to do it, and people would say, well, aren't you afraid? And, you know, how are you going to get clients? And isn't it tough? And I've known somebody in their own business and blah, blah, blah. And I bought into all that bullshit in my head. And you know what? I was a single mom, and at the moment I just could not bear to go back to the corporate world in HR. And so I said, I got to do this. I have to do this. And I did a lot of pushing. I pushed myself a hell of a lot through to continue. And sometimes little things would pop and I would follow them, and I wouldn't, thank God, I'll get my head into it, because if I had of, I probably wouldn't have done a lot of the things that I've done that's brought me to who I am today. But one of those things was I had a call from Voice America, and they asked me if I ever thought about doing a radio show, and I absolutely did. I knew I wanted to do it, but it was more than just, it was like one of those things, I'd like to, like to take a cruise, I'd like to do this, I'd like to have my radio show. It was just like, it was like that. It wasn't, I didn't put a lot of energy into it. But man, when they asked me, I just about jumped out of my skin. I was so excited. There was a really big drop in that excitement when they told me how much money it was going to cost me. However, sometimes I do things with the thinking, and I stepped forward and I said yes, and it did cost me a great deal of money, and I did judge myself a lot for it, and I also didn't let it stop me. It did start to change my business dramatically because I felt the energy of it. I didn't realize that's what I was doing at the time, but I did. Moving forward, I went through and I kept choosing different things that I just had this, I think I need that, I think I need that. And I would have, what I was actually doing was following my knowing. And I would take different courses. And at the same time, I was still trying to push myself into making the right choices for my business so they could grow. And then along comes Access Consciousness into my life. And there was this huge knowing that these pragmatic tools were going to be a huge contribution for me and my business, and it really spoke to me, and I didn't know, quote unquote, how I was going to do that, but it spoke big time. So what I did was I started to take the courses in Access, and at the same time I was trying to figure out how to do it. And I was basically slowly starting to diminish my business. I nearly completely crashed my whole business because I tried to do it the way other people were doing it. I wasn't embracing me and what was light for me. Shortly after going to Facilitators in August of 2013, I came back and I said, okay, one day I woke up and I said, okay, I'm going to use these tools the way that Gary Douglas really challenged me to do that. And I began to speak to my business. And one day I said to my business, okay, business, so what would you like to what's the next thing we would like to add to the business? because adding to your business actually begins to expand it, even if you've got a billion things on your plate. And when I said that, I got an immediate radio show. And I said, really? Really? We've done radio for a year and a half. It hasn't, given us what we wanted. Why would we do that again? And then all of a sudden I could just hear the brakes. Stop. In my head, I'm like, hey, stop that. All right, I'm going to follow the energy on that. You know what? Mr. Douglas, he's such a smart ass. Fine, I'm going to do it what he did. And then if he's wrong, I can tell him he was wrong. So, hence, I made the phone call to Holly Hall, who presently owns A to Zen. And I said, hey, Holly, I think I'm coming back, because I had left Voice America and went to A to Zen. And I came back on A to Zen, and I continued to ask other questions of my business. And one of the things that was really easy for me, which is another thing, we refuse to do what's easy and makes us money fast. Not that it's the only thing you have to do. And so I created a website that showed that I created websites. That's easy for me. It wasn't a lot of fun that was the only thing, because I wanted way more. But I was one of these people that was told to focus. And trust me, as a humanoid, focusing is one of the things that will stop you. It will kill the energy and slow down the contributions from the universe faster than anything else. Not that you don't target something. There's a big difference between targeting and focusing. So what I did was I started to do websites, and then I started to do the radio show. And I continued to do some of the things that I did in my business prior to all of the access work. And the next thing I knew, because I was not concluding about the radio show, I was approached by Holly, and she asked me, had I ever thought about producing? Well, no, I'd never thought about producing. I'd never been a producer. I've never done anything with radio other than do my own show. And all I got in my head was, just ask another question. Don't go into conclusion. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to continue from there. And I would love to take all of your questions. I've got some questions in the chat room. Please participate. This show is being created for you, and I would love to hear from you. So we're going to go to break, Carol. Thank you.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour, and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator, to schedule a private session, or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
Being visible, being social, being heard. What desires are you ready to create? Would you like to take the next step to creating a potent presence on the web? Would it create more possibilities and expansion in your life? BeingVisible.ca offers website, social media, radio show creation, and more. Creating with consciousness, bringing the energy of you to your audience. Are you ready to connect with your audience clearly, regularly, and with ease? Christine McIver and Carol Glover work with individuals and organizations to create a powerful presence on the web. Personal attention and one-on-one training creates the ease with expanding you. Are you ready? Connect today at beingvisible.ca.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada, 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I am your host for tonight's show, Christine McIver, and tonight we are talking about being a creative weirdo humanoid. Okay, so if you don't know what a humanoid is basically someone who does something very, very different. We love change. We love doing many, many things. We have ideas all of the time. We don't fit into a box. We don't do the sameness, and we judge the hell out of ourselves. How's it getting any better than that? All of this is changeable. Please know this. Okay, I've got so much I want to share. This show is going to go way, way too fast, and we have a great question in the chat room by Sue. And Sue, I want you to hold on to that because we're going to come back to this in just a little bit. I want to get to some other things before, and that will come in perfectly. Okay, so what I want to ask you is, would you be willing to be all of you? Would you be willing to own how much brilliance you actually be with all of these ideas? And would you be willing to know, claim, own, and acknowledge that there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with you? And everything that doesn't allow you to claim, own, and acknowledge that there is nothing wrong with you, let's destroy and uncreate all of that. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. The thing about being a creative, a humanoid, a weirdo is that we're always trying to see how to do it because we don't have any reference points. And what we actually want to be doing more of is following what pops, following the shiny ball, following what's fun and playful, following the energy. When you are actually following the shiny balls without definition of how it's going to fit, it can be a contribution to you. When where my business is today and where it was 2 years ago is so dramatically different, I would have never, ever, ever in my life imagined that it would be here. And it was not through trying to figure it out because that shit was not working. So would you please give up the figuring it out piece? And if you get stuck in this, there are brilliant people all around the world. One of them is me, that I work with businesses and individuals to help them get out of that nonsense. Okay, would love to be a contribution. First of all, one of the tools that I want to talk to you about is the 10-second, 10-minute, and 20-minute timer. So the 10-second timer or 10-second choice is just make a choice and see what that feels like to you. Just make the choice. Choosing is not buying. Hey, I'm going to become a radio show producer, and see what energy pops up for you. Choosing is not actually doing it. It's just choosing it. Then you wake up in the morning and you've got all of these things that do require your attention. And you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I feel overwhelmed. And then you run away. You actually start destroying your business because you're not willing to ask a question. Okay, let's POC and POD that bullshit. So what I want you to do is I want you to begin to start making a list. Humanoids have so much in their heads. Creatives, weirdos have so many things in their head. And it's like running around in there like a friggin' circus. Get the shit out of your head. Get this brilliance on paper, okay? First of all, have an idea book. Maybe it's even a spot on your phone, okay? I have ideas all of the time, especially for radio shows. Oh my gosh, I'm writing them down all the time. And it's awesome because the universe is going to give it to you in ways that you're not going to be prepared for. So have paper on hand. Have your phone near you where you can make a list. Now, as far as your to-dos and get-her-done stuff, write a list out. Does not need to be in an order. Write it down before you go to bed at night so you can actually sleep. And then in the morning, ask your business, okay, so I'll look at my list and I'll go, okay, Inspired Choices, what would you like me to do first? And wherever my eyes land, i.e. whatever reads, what you see, what you're able to read, do it. Do it for 10 minutes. If it really needs to get done, like maybe you're invoicing or your taxes or making the phone calls to the clients to follow up, set a timer for 20 minutes. This is a great way to strengthen a muscle. Set a timer for 20 minutes and do nothing but that one thing for 20 minutes. Okay? You can do anything for 20 minutes without killing yourself. And everywhere that you've bought the lie that you can't sit still, can we just sit and create all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, do it for 20 minutes. And then take a break. Literally get up from your desk, put the phone down, walk away, run outside, go have a shower, go masturbate, go do whatever it is that you need to do to change the energy. Then come back to your list and go, okay, inspired choices, what would you like to do now? And that same thing may pop. Cool. Set the timer, do it for 20 minutes. Awesome, possum. Do it again. And keep doing this. I challenge you to do that for 4 hours a day if you really feel like you're drowning in your to-dos. The first day, it's going to feel like, oh my God, this is really hard. And POC and POD everywhere that you believe that is going to be hard. Then what I'd like you to do is take out your favorite colored highlighter. I know, I'm giving you weird things you've probably never heard of. And highlight what you finished. Don't cross it off. You want to highlight it. You want to say, yeah, girlfriend, you did it. Woohoo! Let's celebrate. Okay, so highlight what you've got done. And if you have a list of 20 things and you completed 3 of them, 5 of them, whatever, but they're highlighted in your favorite color, guess what you and your brain are going to pay attention to? Yeah, what you've highlighted. And that's going to begin to change that pattern where you're judging yourself in your head. Okay, so there's so many questions in the chat room, like holy macaroni. I think we're just going to skip the break. Yes, it is futile to ask me that. Thank you so much. I've written out so many things that I want to share, and I'm not even past the first page. So what I'd like to say, and please, if there's a really important question that I missed, because I'm having a hard time following this, so please repost it with the icon, the question icon. Love the highlight idea. Awesome, Keisha. Thank you. Okay, so would you be willing to have a clearing day? Would you be willing to close everything on your computer, because we love distractions, right? And is it a distraction to contribute, or is it something that is actually distracting you from creating more? So ask the question. Is having 6 windows, 15 windows, actually distracting me today? Truth. I got to know from today. But ask that question. If you get a yes, then be willing to close them all. Again, do it for 20 minutes. Just try this, for God's sakes. All right, I'm demanding it now. You do know that I'm the dominatrix, right? Okay. So do it for 20 minutes, okay? Now, what I always say is close all your windows, close your inbox, don't have it popping, don't turn your phone down, don't, really seriously turn off all the distractions. Mistress Christine, I love that. Turn off all the distractions, and then take all of your pieces of paper that you have all over and literally go through them. And when you know that you've completed it, when everything on there is completed and you don't require that information, throw it away. And what I actually do is I gather everything up into one pile, one big pile, whether it's an inch or it's 15 inches high. I put it in one pile, and then I start taking from that pile. And again, I do it for 20 minutes. I'm telling you guys, this is like doing house cleaning. It will change fast. And it's muscle. It's a muscle. But you know what? We actually, we sabotage ourselves when we're not willing to do what's required. It's required to clean the toilet. It's not like we want to clean our toilets, right? Unless we want to pay somebody, and you know what? You can certainly pay a lot of people to do your business. However, if you're not in that position, or you're not choosing that in these 5 seconds, then I want to encourage you to try to do what's required, not for, a time, just for 20 minutes. And what I call a clearing day is really clear off your desk, all right? And what I do is I'll have a blank piece of paper beside me, and I'll go through all these stupid little Post-its and all of these papers that I've scribbled all over, and I literally will go through it, and then I will transfer anything from those papers onto a new one. So I end up getting rid of, all of these little bits of paper and, whatever, Kleenex, anything that I've written on, and I throw them away. And Sue says toilet cleaning is not required. That is what the flush is for. Oh my God, Sue, you're awesome. And then I end up with one piece of paper, and then I can begin to move through that, okay? And please, if you don't get past even anything that I'm saying for 10 minutes, would you please give yourself a break? Would you please not judge yourself and ask more questions? Okay, so that's a clearing day. Then I'd like to invite you into a creating day, a day when you literally step away from your computer. You maybe take something that you like to write in, a journal. Maybe you put on your running shoes, you go for a run. Maybe you get in the car and you drive to a new area of town where you've never been before. Maybe you go to the water. Maybe you go out with a girlfriend and laugh and have lunch. Creating can show up in the most mysterious, amazing ways. It may be sitting on your lawn and watching the squirrels play. I'm telling you, watching animals play and watching what they're doing can change your energy. It's so amazing. So I want to invite you into looking at this so that you can begin to create more in your business. The next thing I'd like to ask you is, are you willing to add more people to your business? Are you willing, I'm not saying you have to do it today, because I was in huge resistance to this, and Carol can tell you this, because I would be talking to Carol this all of the time, and I thought that, well, I don't have the money, and then I was like, okay, what else is possible? That question, seriously, allows the universe to show you. So if you were willing to ask what else is possible and be open and willing to add somebody else to your business who may be potent at something that you're okay good at, but they're super potent at, would that create greater? Or are you so damn good at doing all these things that nobody else can do as good as you? Yeah. Humanoids of magnitude often buy into that bullshit. I certainly did. You know what? I can train anybody to do what I do, and I can follow up with them. And you know what? They are such a contribution to my business. It's magnificent. But I had to get out of my own way. Are you willing to get out of your own way and ask the questions? So if your body actually grows, you would need to use more fabric. You would need to have more fabric for your clothes, right? If you want your business to grow, you might need to add more hands on deck. That doesn't mean a full-time person. That doesn't mean, you're even paying them. Maybe there's something that they want to do in trade. What else is possible? Do you actually know that the universe has your back? Do you? Everywhere that you've bought the lie that the universe doesn't actually have your back because you really suck and you are so judgeable, would you just try and create all of that times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, pock, pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. You know what? I thought this stuff was so true for everybody else except me. That is not true. Carol says, one of the best things I did was get a virtual assistant. I had a budget of 10 hours per month to start. The stuff she could do in that time would take me 40 hours a month. Exactly, Carol. And the thing is that when you are hiring somebody else, you give them that specific job, that will be their target so that they can receive the contribution from you. And you, as a human, having all of these ideas are phenomenal, and sometimes we don't actually stop to target the one specific thing. So people can be a huge contribution to your business if you're willing to ask the questions. So do you know that actually doing many, many things can be a huge generator for your business? The whole idea of focusing is something that we have been taught in this reality, which is bullshit. It does not work for humanoids, creatives, or weirdos. We are so needing to have so many different things going on. It's actually like, when a generator starts, it's kind of chugging along and it's chugging along. Well, that's the way we are when we have one idea that we're trying to push. It's chugging. It's really heavy and hard. And then when we begin to add some different things to ideas, it starts to it's kind of like the train, it starts to get going faster and faster and faster. And when you have all of these ideas popping without going into conclusion of how you have to do it, it begins to go way faster. It's so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to go to the question that you had posted. She said, ask questions of your business. Did you define your business first? No, I did not define my business first when I began to do it again. So guess what? Every day you can start again. So would you be willing to begin your business tomorrow? Would you be willing to wake up tomorrow and go, okay, I'm beginning my business today, no matter what it was yesterday? Would you be willing to do that? And destroy and uncreate all the definitions that you've had about what your business should be, what your business has to be, what your business needs to be, and where everybody's going to judge you if it isn't. Would you be willing? Awesome. And everywhere that you're stopping yourself, let's destroy and uncreate all that. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, on, in shorts, boys, and beyonds. Sue, I'm glad you have no idea what your business is or what you want to create. What I'd like to invite you into is asking what would be fun to create today. Now, if you do not have a business name, and I saw something in here, somebody said something about a business. I struggled with my business name, Sharon says, asked the business what it wanted, kept seeing Shambhala, hearing the song, checked domains, and it was available. Et cetera, momentum. Absolutely, Sharon. So when you are asking your business, hey, business, what would you like to be called? Hey, business. And then, you know what? Don't sit there and wait. Don't sit there and wait for an answer. Now, your brain is going to want to engage and get the right answer. So this is what I suggest you do. Go do the dishes. Go do the laundry. Turn on the TV. Have something to eat. Go get your brain busy so it can ignore the question you asked, because that'll actually lock you down. Allow the universe. Know when you're asking that question, you're actually allowing the universe to contribute. Give it some time, sister. Give it some time. Doing brainless things can actually ease the now what's. So when you're asking your questions of your business every day, and whatever reads on that piece of paper, you begin to do it for 20 minutes and then something else, please know that the universe has got your back. And nothing is wrong if you will start to ride the waves as opposed to trying to, do the backstroke or the front stroke or whatever through the tide of all of your ideas. You can actually enjoy the journey and allow it to contribute to you. I do need to take the break this time, Carol. I need to take a breath. I'd like to ask this question. Would you be willing to get messy? Would you be willing to be completely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Would you be willing to have everybody look at you and go, what is wrong with you? And would you be willing to say, hey, universe, show me my peeps? I have got so many amazing peeps that I work with. It's like phenomenal, and they are always contributing. Doing this radio show, even tonight's show, like I've been doing radio for a number of years, but tonight's show is just pumping me up even more. So it's so much fun, and there's so many ideas in this chat room. Carol, can you please grab all of the text from this chat room so I can read it later, because I don't want to miss anything. That's another thing. Humanoids hate missing anything. So just know that if you're writing your ideas down, you can always come back to it. It's phenomenal. So I want to ask you a question, and then we're going to go for a quick break, and we're going to come back, and I can't believe it. We're over halfway through the show. Holy moly. So if money wasn't the issue, what would your business choose? If money wasn't an issue, what would your business choose? Not you. What would your business choose? Do you get that your business is its own entity and that it is standing there tapping its toes? It's got its hands on its hips going, would you please ask me, girl? I am here to contribute. But oh no, we got to think it out. Would you please stop that shit? All right, we're going to go for our break. And when we come back, and take more of your questions in the chat room. Maybe somebody's going to be brave enough to call in. Or I'm just going to keep talking to myself because, I can do that so well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
Being visible, being social, being heard. What desires are you ready to create? Would you like to take the next step to creating a potent presence on the web? Would it create more possibilities and expansion in your life? BeingVisible.ca offers website, social media, radio show creation, and more. Creating with consciousness, bringing the energy of you to your audience. Are you ready to connect with your audience clearly, regularly, and with ease? Christine McIver and Carol Glover work with individuals and organizations to create a powerful presence on the web. Personal attention and one-on-one training creates the ease with expanding you. Are you ready? Connect today at beingvisible.ca.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Sorry about that. Woo-hoo, I guess I had myself. Anyways, I am so excited. I really want to get right back into it. I thank you, Radio Show, for actually communicating to me around what you wanted my show to be this week. You see, I even asked my radio show, and ideas pop. And they what? Can you guys not hear me? Hello? Okay. Carol, can you hear me? Okay. I know I'm good, girl. Okay, so I even asked my radio show, and my radio show pops ideas at the wildest places, like you have no idea what comes in. And it popped so much this week that for the first time I have 4 shows lined up for the next 4 weeks. And I'm so excited about that because that just gets me into much more of a space of play and fun and what else and what else and what else. Now, would you be willing to ask every day, what else, even if your plate is overflowing? Truth? Okay, everywhere that you are buying the lie that you can't handle more, sister? Hey, mister, do you know the universe wants to give you more? Would we please destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, pock, pal, 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. It's just a question. It's just a choice. Ask a question and then make a choice. If the universe delivers to you 70 different ideas, you can choose what works for you. Don't buy the lie that if you get more ideas, you are going to be overwhelmed. Would an infinite being actually be overwhelmed? Hell no. All right. So, please, I want you to get that speed, doing things quickly, having lots of ideas, is actually who you be. And when you start to try to figure it out and slow it down, that's when you get stuck. That's when we're going into our thinking brain and not our creative brain. And as a creative, as a humanoid, as a weirdo, your natural space of being is speed and consistent, constant generation and creation. It's just who you be. And the more that you will step into your skin, the more that you will actually begin to enjoy who you be, you're going to be at more ease with it, and it's going to be able to contribute more even to you. Your body will contribute to your business as well if you will ask it. One of the biggest things that I do every night, and I've been doing for a very, very long time, is I destroy and uncreate inspired choices every night. I destroy and uncreate my relationship to inspired choices every night. I destroy and uncreate my relationship to Carol Glover every night. I destroy and uncreate my relationship to all of my radio show hosts every night. I destroy and uncreate my relationship to A to Zen every night. I destroy and uncreate my relationship to my family members, to my children, to any creation. I destroy and create it all so that it can become even more. So please, will you step into using the tools that are dying to be a contribution to you? Okay, here's something that I thought really funny when I first got it, and I wonder how many other people are doing this. So before we went to break, I said, what if money wasn't the issue, what would your business choose? And if money wasn't the issue for me, my business would choose to get a lot bigger. And oh my gosh, that was tough for me at first, guys. It really was. Please know that you're not wrong at all. And that when you're willing to ask your business and follow your business and let your business actually be a contribution to you, it can take you places that you've never been able to see before, because please know that your mind only stores what you've already done. So if you want something different, that's not the place to go looking for it. Your business is actually here to contribute if you will allow it. So with the if money wasn't the issue, I wanted my business to get bigger. And the first thing that I needed to start asking is, what would be fun for me? What would be fun for my business? Because I'm actually the employee of my business, right? So when I started to ask what would be fun for me, and I didn't get cognitive ideas, I just started to follow the shiny balls that were fun, it started to expand. And then as I continued to ask that question, what would my business like to be? My business wants to be bigger. Are you willing to be bigger? Are you willing to be known? Are you willing to be seen in the world? The very first time one of my friends who I met through Access, who has a radio show, Cara Wright, said to me, do you not get that you're well known? Now, please know that for 7 years I'd been doing my own business, and I thought that what I wanted more than anything else was to be big. When she said that to me, I just about choked and I wanted to run and hide. So holy shit, I was saying one thing, thought I wanted one thing, and what the belief system that was running in my head was completely the opposite. So how many places and spaces are you self-sabotaging without even knowing? Would you be willing to get your bars run so you can destroy and uncreate all the lies that you've bought into in any lifetime? Awesome. And please, when you things start to get heavy and you start to feel stuck, please, please, please know that there's a very strong possibility that that's exactly what's occurring. Carol's saying this show needs a part 2. Okay, well, I'm willing to do a part 2 if everybody in the chat room is willing to come back and play. Can I get a hell yes? And what I'm actually going to say is I will do a part 2 if everybody in the chat room or anybody that's listening will send me a question, so this show can actually be even more contribution to everybody out there. Because you know what? We all step into our greatness and our brilliance and our beingness. We can create greater in the world, and it takes a village to change something. And Sue's saying, hell yes, awesome. You know what? We all are required to change this reality. How many of us desire and wish that as a young child somebody would have seen the brilliance we be, somebody would have seen the difference we be, somebody would have seen the creative we be, and not have squished us into a friggin' box. Like, fuck, I'm so pissed off now thinking about that. I was judged up the ass for all of the things that I wanted to do and play and laugh and get so wild about, and people said, sit down, be quiet, get under control. And it's like, are you kidding me? Do you know how much I turned me off because of all of that? How much of each of us that are in the chat room that are listening to the show, how much could we actually change the reality for other beings that are coming in and are in young bodies now? Would you be willing to be a contribution to not only you, your body, your bank account, your business, but also to other beings desiring more possibilities? I sure as hell hope so, because I would love to do a second part. Here's a big one that we're going to end with, because we've only got 4 minutes left. Are you willing to lose it all? Christine, what the hell are you doing? You just got me stepping into my brilliance, and now you got me doing all these things. Now you're telling me I got to lose it all? No, you don't got to do anything, people. But if you are willing to lose it all, nothing can own you. Abso-friggin-lutely nothing can own you. When you're willing to lose it, I am willing to lose every client I have. I am willing to lose this radio show. I'm willing to lose producing all of these radio shows. I'm willing for radio shows that I produce. I'm willing for every radio show host to walk away. I am willing for everyone to say no to anything that I'm offering. I am willing for all of my clients to say, thank you, I'm leaving now. I am willing to lose it all because I know above anything else, I've got my back. I know that the universe has my back. And I know that I'm one brilliant M.O. No, F.M. Oh, what is it? M.F. Oh, my God. This show is so much fun. I am so grateful for all of the energy that everybody's contributing, even all of the people that are listening in the future, because you are. Time is an illusion. Everybody's contributing. So we've just got a couple minutes left. I would love to hear from you. My email is christine@inspiredchoices.ca. If you'd like to check me out, you can check me out. My website is inspiredchoices.ca, or you can check me out on Facebook at Inspired Choices, and Inspired Choices Inc., and also Inspired Choices on Twitter. I would... Sue, you are funny. Sue says I'm an MF, mistress fucker. I don't know about that, but that's pretty funny. So I would love to hear from you. I would love to be a contribution to you if that's possible. If you're stuck with your business, this is what I do. I do it with so much fun and so much ease. One of my potencies is actually working with people that are interested in having their own radio show. I did this afternoon with a humanoid, massive humanoid, and when I started talking about the radio show, she said, well, can you send me a list of everybody's shows, and then I'll look at what's not there so I can create it? And I said, hell no. We're going to talk to your radio show. And she looked at me like, what? And I said, yeah, let's ask the radio show what it wants to be called. And we started to play with that. And it's fun and it's easeful for me. And if that is something that you would love to do with me, I would love to play with you. And what else is possible that you've been refusing that if someone could be a contribution to you would create more in your life? You don't want to downsize, you want to upsize. You want to be known, you want to be seen, you want to be bigger. You want that wallet to get bigger? Step up. Would you be willing to step up in your own life? Would you be willing to get so uncomfortable that you want to scream some days? I know I do all of the time, and then I stretch myself, and then it gets easeful. I'm so glad you all joined me tonight. Please connect with me. I'm doing a BARS Foundation and Level 1 class. I would love to have you join me and see what we can create. I've also got radio show spots still available. We're getting filled up, but we are looking for other brilliant creators that would love to be a contribution. And I would love to do one-on-one coaching with you because that is something that is just so much fun for me, and it comes with total ease. Listen, guys, remember, no matter what, there is nothing wrong with you, and your billion ideas are actually what you've been asking for. Thank you so much. Next week, we got another brilliant show. Bye for now.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on A2Zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by making the choices that bring you all that you desire.